Hi everyone, I'm Mark Leeming from the 1 Minute Preacher. Now, in last week's video, we looked at the whole Jordan Peterson phenomenon and how so many young people are attracted to his wisdom and insight into how they can live somewhat normal lives in a world that's gone completely mad. And I asked the question, where then is our Jordan Peterson? Where is our Christian equivalent of him? After all, we have an entire body of literature in the Bible known as wisdom literature. So over this past week, I thought, why not do a series of videos on this very topic? So this will be the first, and I'll add more periodically over time. And what better place to begin with than with the question, what is wisdom? But before we do that, if you have a cup of hot coffee, tea, or whatever hot beverage you start your mornings off with, a toast to having a great Thursday. Okay, so let's begin. What is wisdom? Well, it's certainly not knowledge, and that's very hard for us to understand in our information age. We tend to think of knowledge and wisdom as one and the same. We have so much information, so much knowledge at our fingertips, it can be very easy for us to think we're therefore wise for it. We all carry one of these things, right? A so-called smartphone. And well, surely we are a wise people, wiser than anyone before the invention of the smartphone. If only these things truly were wise phones, what a different world we'd be living in right now. Now, don't get me wrong, knowledge is good, but this is the thing that you need to understand, that you need knowledge in order to be wise. But you don't need wisdom in order to be knowledgeable. You could be a Nobel Prize winning astrophysicist and still not be wise. We all know those people, right? Okay, maybe not an award-winning astrophysicist, but we know of some really, really smart people. And yet, in their personal lives, it's just a train wreck. They seem to have no ability to make wise life choices. And then, of course, they get into positions of power like politics and think that they can enact policies that affect everyone else's life choices. Anyway, so again, while you need knowledge in order to be wise, you don't need wisdom in order to be knowledgeable. And ancient people knew this. They knew that there was a difference. And how one obtained wisdom was through a life of virtue. Wisdom was about your character, who you were. Wisdom was moral. In the book of Proverbs, it presents two paths that we have to decide which one we're going to take in life, the path of wisdom and the path of folly. Now, those who follow the path of wisdom, their lives will be self-controlled, not given to rage, able to bite their tongue when things get heated, able to diffuse arguments peacefully. When wrong, they're able to take constructive criticism, and in fact, rebukes are teachable moments to the wise. They're prudent. They're not prone to making rash decisions, but give careful thought to their ways and seek others for advice. They are hardworking, self-reliant, and wise with their money. The path of folly is the exact opposite. And there are many, many very smart people today, academically speaking, who follow the path of folly. But what separated the ancient Israelites' idea of wisdom versus, say, the wisdom of the Egyptians was their fear of God, their belief that there was only one God, and this God had given the Israelites his laws and decrees through Moses to faithfully follow. And by obeying God, by fearing God, well, that was the beginning of wisdom. And for us as Christians under the new covenant, Jesus is our Moses. His teachings are the Mosaic law for us. When Jesus finished his famous Sermon on the Mount, he concluded with a famous parable. He said that those who follow his teachings, they are like a wise person who built their house upon rock, upon a solid foundation. And when the storms of life hit and the floodwaters rose, their house stood firm. But those who choose not to follow Christ, follow his teachings, they are like a foolish person who builds their house upon the sand. And when the storms of life hit, when the floodwaters rise, their house will be swept away. Jesus is a fountain of wisdom. Drink from it, and you will be wise. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and hit the share button. And if you would like to join me next week for coffee, please do hit the subscribe button. Cheers.